What president married his first cousin? James Monroe, John Adams, James Buchanan. John Adams. Like, comment, subscribe. What president served for terms? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. Franklin D. Roosevelt. How many presidents have died while in office? 2, 4, 8. Eight. Who was the First Lady? Dolly Madison, Martha Jefferson, Martha Washington. Martha Washington. Which president spent the shortest time in office? Richard Nixon, William Henry Harrison, John F. Kennedy. William Henry Harrison. Who's the youngest First Lady? Edith Wilson, Frances Clara Cleveland Preston, Rachel Jackson. Frances Clara Cleveland Preston. Which president was first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. George Washington. Which president was not a lawyer? John Adams, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton. Ronald Reagan. New Frontier was associated with the programs of which president? John F. Kennedy, Herbert Hoover, Barack Obama. John F. Kennedy. Which president rebuilt Europe's economy after World War II? Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman. Who assassinated U.S. President Abraham Lincoln? Lee Harvey Oswald, Leon Zalgas, John Wilkes Booth. John Wilkes Booth. Which dissident political faction nominated former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt for the presidency in 1912? Republican Party, American Labor Party, Bull Moose Party. Bull Moose Party. Which president's refusal to support U.S. Supreme Court decisions led to the Trail of Tears? Andrew Jackson, Theodore Roosevelt, John Quincy Adams. Andrew Jackson. Which president was made a virtual prisoner in the White House because of the public's opposition to his Vietnam policies? Dwight Eisenhower, Lyndon B. Johnson, Gerald Ford. Lyndon B. Johnson. Which president's acting first lady was his niece? Andrew Jackson, James Buchanan, Calvin Coolidge. James Buchanan. Which two former presidents who were friends died within a few hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the proclamation of the Declaration of Independence? James Madison and James Monroe. George Washington and John Adams. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Which president did not live at the White House? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Gerald Ford. George Washington. Who was the only U.S. president to serve 2 discontinuous terms? Grover Cleveland, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Andrew Jackson. Grover Cleveland. Which U.S. president won the Navy and Marine Corps Medal for his heroism during World War II? John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower. John F. Kennedy. Which future U.S. president made the Checkers speech in 1952? Richard Nixon, Adlai Stevenson, Dwight Eisenhower. Richard Nixon. Which U.S. president resigned from office because of his role in the Watergate scandal? Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon. Which U.S. First Lady occasional attendance cabinet meetings? Rosalind Carter, Hillary Clinton, Eleanor Roosevelt. Rosalind Carter. Which president's administration was tarnished by the Iran-Contra affair? George W. Bush, Warren G. Harding, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Who was the U.S. president during the War of 1812? James Madison, James Monroe, Thomas Jefferson. James Madison. What president helped found the Democratic Party? George Washington, Martin Van Buren, James Madison. Martin Van Buren. Who adopted White House as the official name for the residence of the President of the United States? Theodore Roosevelt, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt. What military leader was the first to become president by a direct appeal to the mass of voters? Andrew Jackson, Woodrow Wilson, John Quincy Adams. Andrew Jackson. Which president signed the most comprehensive civil rights law in the country's history? Lyndon B. Johnson, Harry Truman, John F. Kennedy. Lyndon B. Johnson. Which U.S. president was referred to by his opponents as his fraudulency after a contested election in 1876? John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Grover Cleveland. Rutherford B. Hayes. Which president issued the Emancipation Proclamation? Andrew Johnson, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. Abraham Lincoln. Which president said the best way to conduct foreign policy was to speak softly and carry a big stick? Calvin Coolidge, Theodore Roosevelt, Jimmy Carter. Theodore Roosevelt. Which future U.S. president's correspondence helped establish the consensus for calling a constitutional convention? James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. George Washington. Which U.S. First Lady was the first to win elective office? Betty Ford, Edith Wilson, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. We release new videos every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Subscribe now, so you never miss a video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.